Singer.
And then Ron, I was telling everyone previously that when you do have a comment, if you could just say your name before you make the comment, just for Heather's for the minutes.
That would be great.
Thank you. Yeah, we have enough. So we do have Jerry. So we have Jerry here. So we have Chris Howden, Jerry Abbott, Mino Morges, okay, and then Ron Campbell, and then Chris Kemp. So we do have enough for a quorum. We were expecting Claude and Audrey.
Who else are you expecting?
Audrey and Claude.
Okay, should we wait a minute for that?
Yes, please. Were you all able to log on to vVoter?
Yes.
Okay.
Is this the waiting for presentation to start, is that correct?
You should be able to see the presentation now for Welcome to Highland Planning Commission meeting.
Yeah, it's there now.
Okay, perfect.
Let me know when you want to start.
Okay, we can start now if you'd like.
Okay. All right. This first time doing this, so we'll welcome everybody out to our virtual Highland City Planning Commission meeting for Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. We'll get started with your invocation. Mr. Claude not here yet, so I'll go ahead and do that invocation, and then our pledge of allegiance will be led by Commissioner Campbell, if that's okay.
That's fine.
All right, I'll do the invocation. Dear Father God,
And then if I may real quick, if you guys aren't going to make a comment, if you can mute your phone until you want to make a comment. So I'm actually going to make a quick presentation real quick. Thank you, commissioners. As previously stated, we are staff is requesting to amend table -347A. This table was adopted under the town center overlay zone, but it wasn't adopted or referenced under each individual zone. As such, the individual zones, land use circumvents the table. And we have found there are some discrepancies in the table as well, so that's why we were proposing we only have the town center overlay in this table that was adopted. For citizen participation, we did the appropriate notification for Daily Herald and the State and City website. We have not received any written correspondence on this. And then this is your recommended and proposed motion as well. Any questions?
So there's no real debate on this. You just need this to be changed to correct a discrepancy.
Any comments or questions, commissioners?
Yeah, so Jerry did have a question about, if you want to repeat it.
Oh, just clarification. We're just fixing discrepancy in the code right here. It's not
Yes, correct. A previous application came in when we realized that the table was saying something was permitted when it wasn't correctly permitted in the zone, and the zones did not adopt that table.
Okay, I can make a motion if you want, Chris.
Okay.
I move that.
Give me a microphone, Jerry.
I think I have it on. Can you hear me, guys? Is it okay?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay. I move that the Planning Commission accept the findings and the recommendation approval of the proposed amendment based on the following findings presented by staff.
Okay, Jerry made a motion, we have a second?
I second it.
What?
Hi, Joey.
Sorry, 1 sec. It's brought in the wrong roster.
Sorry, that took me a bit to get logged in. It wasn't taking my call before.
Okay, that's fine. We have a motion to accept, item number 2, and a second from Bob Campbell. We'll go ahead and close the public hearing, and then commissioners, you can vote, under re-vote, and hopefully you're logged in.
I also tried to de-vote, and this is Audrey. I tried to de-vote, and it was saying it's not available at this time, so I'm trying it again.
Okay, if you can't get that to work, you can probably do it verbally.
If you guys are good with verbal, I can do that.
Okay, that's why I voted online.
Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties. 1 sec. Let me try and get the vVoter to operate properly.
This is wrong, my vote was received.
Oh, really?
They like it better. Yeah, this one, it's mine as well.
Okay. Just to make sure we get it properly, if you could individually just vote verbally. Roll call.
Okay, as Commissioner Camp, I vote yes.
Chris Howard, yes. This is Ron. This is Ron, yes.
This is Sherry, yes. This is Audrey, yes.
Jerry, yes.
Mino, yes.
Oh, what's up?
Okay, motion passes, thank you, Commissioner. All right, we'll go up to item number 3. This is also a public hearing to amend section 3-712 of the development code relating to temporary signs. We'll go ahead and open up public hearing at this time.
Thank you, commissioners. So this is to amend 3712 temporary signs as proposed or requested by Mayor Rod Mann. The proposal is to remove temporary signs being permitted on all public property. And it's also removing temporary signs shall not be permitted to advertise specific items such as roses, beer, gas, soda, etc., because we cannot just judge based on content. And it's also adding under 3712.6 political signs. Political signs shall not be permitted on public property. Just keep in mind this would be an amendment for all temporary signs on public property. Staff is recommending an alternative motion, an alternative stipulation in their addition to say temporary signs for an exception for special events. Because we do have the fling and other signs that we usually end up advertising on public property. And that'd be 3714. So
The city can have temporary signs, but nobody else?
correct.
Okay.
For special events.
So for like the youth night, drive-in theater, or the kids' night, and things like that, those can be posted throughout the city.
Correct.
Great, wow.
So for participation, we did the appropriate notification through Daily Herald and State and City website. No written correspondence has been received. And here's a proposed motion. Actually, that's not correct. Oh, yeah.
So that would include model open signs, that kind of stuff? Open
So
house.
any temporary signs, so garage sale signs and, yeah, model homes.
No, model homes are actually in a separate section of the code, so they're not a temporary sign. So there's like four. There's, if I'm remembering correctly, there is, just pull the code open. There is political signs.
Garage sale signs, model home.
Oh,
no-
my bad.
So there is a model home, and then there is promotional signs, grand opening signs, and agricultural signs.
So all this does is say you can't put them on city property. That's all it does.
Does that create a problem?
Commissioner Kathy, so you have to get a permit for a garage sale sign?
Yes, you're supposed to get a permit for a garage sale sign.
Oh, so you can put them up, you just have to get a permit? You can put them up, you just have to get a permit, you're saying?
As is the code right now for a temporary sign, yes. But this amendment would remove that. I mean, you could have it on your property, I guess, but not on public
So when
property.
we have elections, we're not going to have,
So right now, so the whole purpose of this is to eliminate all the election signs you see up and down park strips, like down SR 74. This is a request by the mayor. In city parks, we've had a lot of trouble as they go up, especially the big ones. They hit main sprinkler lines and create a mess. So the whole purpose is to remove that. And when you, because you have to have content neutral regulations, you have to eliminate all temporary signs in parks. Now, we don't have a lot of garage sale signs in parks and park strips and things like that. So we're not in here trying to rewrite our temporary sign regulations. We're in here just trying to address the mayor's concern about political signs. And so we addressed just the location section of it. It is something that we need to go through and update all our sign regulations, because it has updated with case law and stuff like that. But with primaries and things coming up shortly, we needed to get this addressed.
So where can people put up political signs?
They can still put them up on commercial property or private-owned property with permission. They just can't put them up on public property.
or they can put them on their cars, right? and park
You can put them on their
lots.
cars. You can put one in front of your house on the park strip with permission. They can put them up in front of CVS. They can put them up in front of Ridley's, things like that. They just can't put them in our parks or up and down the SR 74 or 92 on city property.
I thought they could not put them in the park strip.
So yes, correct. Number 5, it says political signs shall not be permitted in the park strip directly in front of the home.
I thought it said, no. My bad.
Even though park strips are on private property, correct?
So the park strip is actually public, so if you wanted a political sign, you'd put it in your front yard or in your grass.
Just behind the sidewalk.
This clause, so you're saying that basically those are for city business and not for individuals? Or private stuff?
Correct.
Well, that makes sense.
And is that Claude?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Okay, this is Commissioner Kemp. Any other comments or questions? If not, then we'll entertain a motion.
And we don't have any public comments, so oh, we do have a public comment? Hold on one sec. We do have somebody who would like to make a comment.
Okay.
John Hart, Highland resident, just happened to be here filming this. This is an important issue for me. I help candidates run for office, and one of the things that we run into on a regular basis when an average, ordinary citizen wants to run for public office is how much is it going to cost me? And the largest amount of that on a city election is lawn signs. And what I've experienced over 15 years is an ever-increasing number of investment on lawn signs as opposed to efforts to go around and meet residents and garner support, talk issues. So elections become just how much money can I get to buy plastic to put on lawn signs. So when this ordinance was originally passed, I thought it was great. First Amendment, right? Put it out there. It ended up working against the average citizen because the people who had the most money could win the elections. So by removing this from public property, it incentivizes candidates to go around and meet individual residents and get those same lawn signs on private property because they agree on issues, as opposed to just buying signs and putting them out there and creating a false illusion of popularity. So I think this is a good change. Thanks.
This is Audrey. Concur with Mr. Hart. And experience the same. So I think this is great, very, and not to mention we live in the windy city of Highland, and it ends up being crap.
There are no comments on YouTube Live or in the audience.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and close the public hearing and ask for a motion.
Okay, this is Jerry again. I move that the Planning Commission accept the findings and recommend approval of the proposed amendment based on the following findings that the staff has recommended.
This is Audrey Wright. I second.
We have a second and a motion. Why don't we just vote, everybody vote verbally to it, please. All vote yes. Chris Kemp?
Chris Howland, I vote yes.
Paul Johnson?
Campbell, I vote. Don Campbell, I vote yes.
Audrey Wright.
Sherry Booth.
So let's have Audrey, what was that again?
I'm sorry. Audrey Wright votes yes.
And then Sherry, what was yours again?
Yes.
Jerry, yes.
And then Claude, what was your vote as well?
Yes.
Okay, and then we have Mino.
Yeah, Mino, yes.
Okay.
So this is Sherry, is the web-based thing not working?
The V-Voter is having some issues. It's showing the city council, even though you can still vote, it's not gonna populate.
Yeah, it's frozen now on me, and let me vote the first time, and now it doesn't show me anything.
Okay, let me see.
And I still can't log in.
How about
so
now?
It won't, it says it's available at this time, so.
Can you try logging back out and logging in again?
4 times. At different times, so that.
Okay, this is Commissioner Kemp, it looks like that motion passes, so thank you, everybody. We'll close the public hearing if I didn't do that already. We'll move on to item number 4. Extend the conditional use permit for the park maintenance building. This is also a public hearing. Is this a public hearing as well?
No, it's not.
No, just a public meeting.
Okay. Okay, we'll just have a review on this one and please vote.
Okay, 1 second, sorry. Okay, can you see it now? Perfect, okay.
There we go.
Looks good.
Okay, Eric.
Okay. All right, so,
This lot, so basically, you did came in way higher than we thought, and now you have to modify the building to be a little cheaper.
yeah, so for your background, February 19th, 2019, City Council approved the conditional use permit for the park maintenance building. Conditional use permits only are valid for 1 year, and it has to have some construction activity within that year. January 9th, 2020, the city did receive some bids for that, and unfortunately it was underfunded. We do have to go out and re-evaluate it and have council still approve it, so that's the reason why we're requesting an extension on the building. Yeah, so we're looking at possibly changing some of the structure, or changing some, not really structure, but changing some of the components in the building. So the conditional use permit, if you granted the extension, it would expire, it is expiring April 1st, 2020, but it would expire September 24th, 2020. So it is a 6-month extension that we are requesting.
This clock, what budget year did this come out of?
It's currently in the current fiscal year budget. It'll probably be rolled over into next fiscal year budget. It's come from a number of fiscal year budgets, but it's, as we've tried to save for it, basically over the last 4 or 5 years.
Okay. I guess I was wondering if the city council was, thinking about putting in some more money, but I don't know that they can.
Long story short, it originally came from monies out of a transaction with WPI with the sale of old water company building that was located up by the substation on SR 92. So that's kind of been our budget max at this point, along with some other minor savings, but nothing significant. The real challenge has been location and trying to find a place that the council would approve. That's been the challenge.
Okay, thank you.
And so here's a recommendation and proposed motion for you to consider. Any other additional questions or comments for us?
how over budget, this is Aubrey, how over budget were the, bids?
The bid came in at $1.1 million, which was at least $700,000 to $800,000 more than we were expecting. Yeah, about 300,000 of that is road improvements, so that's out of a separate fund, but you're still looking at 600,000, which is a lot more than we were anticipating.
Just out of curiosity, do they list it per square foot? What are they charging per square foot?
Well, you have, so it's all one package, so that 1.1 included your road improvements, your site improvements, and the building. 5,500 square feet. Yeah, really dinky, so we were quite disappointed in what they came back as.
So are you guys searching for other bids?
So when we go through a bid process, what happens is there are sealed bids. We have a certain amount of time, then we open them, and we have a choice. We can either take the low bid, or we can not take any of the bids, or we can, that's about it. So right now we're actually looking at the plans, and we're looking at what adjustments we can make. Was the building engineered correctly? If you've seen the plans for the building, it's all split-face concrete block. So we're having engineers look at it to make sure that it wasn't over-engineered, is a good word. And looking at some alternative product that might be a little bit cheaper. We're also looking at some alternatives with the construction of the salt storage building. There might be some opportunities to add on to our existing public works facility that at least get us by for a few years. So we can't, it's hard, even if we had the money, it would be hard to justify that kind of money for that small of a building when we have so many other needs in the city. So
Does the city already has the property or needs to purchase the property?
we already
as well?
have the property.
Okay.
Any other comments? No, if not, then we'll entertain a motion.
Chris Howden, I move that the planning commission accepts findings and approve proposed 6-month extension for the park management building based on the following findings from the staff.
This is Sherry, I second.
Okay, great. We have a motion and a second. Tara, would you call roll call for us? We'll vote verbally.
Yeah, Jerry? Ron? Commissioner Campbell?
Yes.
Okay. Sherry?
Yes.
Commissioner Howden?
Yes.
Claude?
Yes.
Commissioner Kemp?
Yes.
Mino?
Yes.
And then Audrey. Audrey?
Audrey is yes.
Okay, thank you. Well, now it works.
Okay, I think that's everybody. I think it passes. Thank you.
So, we do have, sorry. We do have some other business as well.
Okay, let's move on to the other business, and then we'll vote on the meeting minutes after that.
Okay, so first of all, my apologies for not sending an email out earlier on Thursday. I should have done that, and it totally spaced my mind. So moving forward, why we're in this, the governor obviously passed if you saw that, passed executive order allowing us to do electronic meetings. There is some provisions that we have to provide, allow public to comment. The key thing here is we want to make sure everybody's comfortable. So, and not have anybody take any unnecessary risks that they feel uncomfortable with. So, if you feel that way, please let us know. We're trying to make every accommodation that we can. Dialing in from home, obviously this is work in progress. We're trying, and it's kind of on the fly as we go. So things change by the moment. As you know, Alpine School District up to May 1st, so it looks like we have one more meeting, at least of this, would be my guess. We'll see how it goes. But we appreciate your patience, and I think working together we'll get through it. So if you have any questions of us, I'd be happy to answer them. And it's been a interesting experience, I'll say that. On a call with Lieutenant Governor today, talking about his economic plan. It's on the web if you want to see that for small businesses and others. They're talking about having to change that every hour or at least every day as things change. So new experience for us all. And hope everybody stays healthy, and that's our goal to do that. And let us know if you have any questions.
I think that's great. Thank you for setting this up. I'm sure it will go.
I'm pretty sure I have everything.
If not, then we'll entertain a motion to accept those minutes.
I move to approve the January 28th, 2020 approval.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second it, this is Ron.
Okay.
I'll do the roll call.
Everybody is in favor, unless you speak up now or vote.
All those in favor? Aye.
Okay, looks like it passes unanimously on the minutes.
Okay, perfect.
Any other items, Nathan or Tara?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, then we'll just need a motion to adjourn.
I move to adjourn.
This is what